It's so goofy.
She's too strong. At this rate, we're not going to make it much longer.
I mean, if you let me undo that turn and retry things,
This truly may be it for us.
I might have actually been able to do it. I was making some pretty good progress.
I hate the world this much.
Took off like a third of her health already.
Stupid child, you're wasting your breath.
Because it took away
Can you speak up?
one thing that mattered to me. I'm going to lose it all. I might as well watch everything burn.
You've only lost sight of the truth. Back home, on the streets.
She just keeps shaking.
Gained things too, didn't you?
Oh, she stopped shaking.
Not just rage either. Things like love and kindness and family. We learned all those on the street.
Why does the evil purple
where we
effect look
found
like
our
something you'd
greatest
see in
treasure.
Octopath Traveler?
Hope for the future. Even when we were fighting tooth
Like
and
off of
nail
like
to survive,
Galdera or
we
something.
had Pet to keep us going. Guernica. No. Tao. You remember that, right? If you feel like you don't have any hope left, then I'll give you all of mine. After all, that's what big sisters do.
Luca. Sis.
Stop this at once.
Not happening. You're
Line delivery.
alone.
Oh, what in the hell? Step aside right now, or I'll flay you alive.
Careful now, Jerry. Your true colors are showing.
What, they weren't before?
We scurried all over the
They might
streets.
realize that I'm actually evil.
Remember our first mural?
Oh, it's gonna load a flashback now, isn't it? Yeah, that's what's going on here. It's taking a little while. Oh. No more gas mask for you. Now you have to breathe it all in. Get poisoned.
Luca. Sis. Sis!
Did she die from that?
Oh, good. You finally remember me.
Sis! I'm so sorry!
Don't be sorry. This is just the natural way of things. And your big sis will always be there for you. Always. Remember now?
I do. Luca was always like that. Always.
The lip syncing was a bit off.
Food. Luca would just tell me she was full. Even when I knew it wasn't true. I knew she was suffering. That's why I lost her. Oh, Luca.
And do you remember, Tao? That promise we made?
Yes, I do. We said we would create art that spoke for the people like us, the people on the bottom, and that our art would be so massive and our message so loud that no one could turn away from it. That was the promise we made together.
That's good.
It's gonna be Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
No, sis, I can't lose you again. Please, I can't. I can't.
Don't be so clingy, Tao. Remember, I'll live on through our promise for as long as you keep it. And that's why
Well, see ya. Also, not to ruin the super emotional moment here, but like, did they actually expect players to be like really, really emotionally invested in this 5-hour DLC
Later.
at this point? Again, there are some aspects of the main game story that I did really like.
Guernica shouldn't be able
But
to
this
recover
just-
like that. This can't happen.
Well, it has. And you'll never understand how.
So what's next? Personally, I'd recommend surrendering.
Jerry.
Guernica, these wretches stand in the way of your dream. They are enemies of art. You must kill them or...
Jerry, what the hell did you do to me? What did you do to my sister? There's only one thing you got right about me. My art is fueled by my rage. But my rage is at my own mistreatment, at what all the outcasts of society have suffered. How would killing everyone in the world solve that? Jerry, you manipulated me, didn't you?
What a joke. The poor one at that.
The audio mixing is not great.
You heard me.
Music is as
Who
loud
even
as the
gives a
voices.
shit about art? Absolute dolts who like feeling smart. People with pointless lives. You do it for representation, to speak for the unheard.
I was not expecting
There's a
Jerry to
reason
say who even
nobody
gives a shit.
listens to street trash. All you've done is hide your self-gratification with a punk-flavored sugarcoating of empathy.
You're full of shit! Tell me, what the hell do you even want with me anyway?
Oh, this is where we reveal the
Your
villain's big
ability
schemes.
To influence others. It's the linchpin to my plan. I'm going to amass every single pathetic human on Earth and burn them alive through their precious art.
What?
Soon there'll be nothing but a serene world of ash and silence.
It sounds as if you've concocted a plan to eliminate those you can't understand. If I may be frank, you're highly delusional.
Stupid little human. You put on your intellectual airs, but you can't even grasp the things I see.
No, I really
So you're that
can't.
superior, eh? Let me guess. You're a god.
Are we gonna have another
Don't
one?
speak of things you can't comprehend. This chit-chat has grown pointless. I'm merely here to carry out my duty. And I kill anything that gets in my way. Oh, but Guernica, you I'm going to spare. When this is done, we'll have ourselves a nice, fresh start. We'll start off by scrubbing your mind until there isn't a single trace of your sister left in your memory.
Jerry, you're dead!
Let's beat that bird.
You guys.
We made a promise to your sister. We've got your back.
Thank you.
I tire of this farce. It's time to reveal my true glory.
That is the most Persona final boss I've ever seen. A little pink bird turned into that. Well, my goodness. Also, isn't this basically what the main game final boss looked like, or something like this? I don't remember. Oh, it's black paint now because evil rather than pink paint. True form, and it's that. Goofy little pink board. Pink board, whatever. Pathetic creatures, you have no chance of reaching me. Realize the futility of your actions and wither away to dust. So, Cher reveals her true colors. This may be more difficult than I'd imagined.
What do we do?
There's no way we can reach her like this. You can leave that to me. I'm sick of this boring-ass monochrome world anyway. I'll paint a path. You guys take it. Whoa, so cool. Is the final boss music gonna be kind of cool here? Oh, there's that. But yeah, oh no, she's dead. This is $20 US. You paid money for this. And yeah, good question. Why wasn't Joker shooting the bird during that?
I'll wrap this
Would be good to know there. Oh my god, you paid money for this? I'm so sorry. I guess I just... move forward and paint. Oh, black means I can't step onto it at all. Like, not even, like, a disadvantage thing or anything, but I just can't step onto it at all. Let's send a sketchy this way, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, flavor true forms that. Enemy turn. Disorderly flock. This looks like a mix of a Persona file boss and something you'd see in, like, Five Nights at Freddy's as, like, some sort of Chica knockoff. Okay. Or, like, variant or something here. With however many versions they have of all the characters and Five Nights at this point, probably. Okay, so just like Pew, I guess. And then true colors mean lack thereof. Also, this is Persona or Splatoon. This is the whole gimmick of this DLC, is that unlike the main game, there's this paint thing. And as long as you're standing on your own paint, you'll have an advantage, and same thing goes for the enemies. But the moment someone gets hit by an opposing attack, the paint under them changes to the other team's paint. And it's like, that's the whole gimmick of the DLC. And it's like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I don't know about this whole other side story thing, all about that in a day one DLC. Like, I wouldn't be as mad at this if this was just like a side mode that was included in the main game just for free. But for a $27 day one DLC, it's like comparing Jerry to Chica is an offense to Chica. Seems that our enemies aren't beholden to the same tooth traveling that we are. No problem. I'll just make you a path.
Please.
Best of luck, Guernica-san. Son of a... Okay, so just like... Okay, more paint. Okay, so maybe if I sketch my way this way. Yeah, so I can still step on the pink stuff. It looks like. Oh, what the hell? There you go. Here, and let's say I did this. And then, like, here. I may as well take out that guy. Like that. And then I triangle attack this guy. After I do this. Q. It's not really gonna make any new paint available. Imagine if that destroyed that barrel, too. Or something. Oh, well. Oh, well. Enemy turn. Core of Divine Will. It is another godly being in a Persona game here. Another one. Well, I mean, I haven't beaten any Persona games apart from Persona 5 and this. But still, even with that, I'm kind of tired of all these gods at the end of it. It's like, main game Persona 5, you face against a god, and it's like, okay, this is the first time doing this. This is fresh and new. And then the royal boss was a little bit different, where it's like, it was someone that took over the godly role and kind of made themselves a god, but it was still like a human, and it's like, okay, this is a decent bit different. And then Persona 5 Tactica, the final boss of that was just like, oh, here's a god of control, just like was in Persona 5, and it's like, why are we doing the same thing again? Like, what's the point? And then you've got basically another godly being with the derpy bird here. And it's like, man. And people, I haven't beaten Strikers yet. I haven't played Strikers yet. But people tell me that apparently it's like a god of control. That's the final boss of that apparently as well. And it's like, man, Persona 5 just can't get enough of that, huh? What could those be? I've got a feeling they're dangerous. Probably best not to get too close. I can't step over there anyway.
My gratitude.
My gratitude? Okay, you don't act in the immediate same turn. Okay, so where's this paint gonna be? Oh, okay, that sort of helps me. Here, let's say I did this. Pew!
Let's take them down.
And then I like... Yeah, did this. Pew! Can't really make much more path over this way or anything. Then I just pew! And I don't know. Can I Persona from here or anything?
Persona.
I can get that. Whatever that does. I don't know. I don't really need to store anyone's HP. Limited movement is not gonna help me here. I haven't thought, but from the way you see it, you think the Persona games are the closest we'll ever get to a proper JJBA game? I'm not actually sure what JJBA stands for. You may have to clarify. Maybe I should have acted with Sumire first, because Joker could have raised everyone's defense. Like, you can spend your turn doing this. May as well, right? Attack raised. I mean, what the heck am I gonna do here? I could get one of those dudes, but like, meh. I mean, can I reach with this? No, I sure can't. Whatever. Oh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. An anime that I haven't seen before. But, I mean, I've heard about, like, the stands in that, and how they're really similar to Personas, and all that. Forget about the Eyes of Heaven? What, for, like, is that the name of one of the attacks? What's the Eyes of Heaven? Ow. Rude. Alright, now I'll definitely Persona them, I think. Oh, cool, I can go over this way now. So let's say I did a wider range thing here, like this. Oh, JJBA game. Okay, so that probably wasn't referring to me then. Probably not. Okay, so... Sure. Do that. Can I reach here? Yeah, I can like that. So I may as well here like this, right? Pew. There we go. And then I'll just like, I don't know.
What to do here?
I can shoot at you. These things don't seem to go away, so I'll shoot it, I guess. All right, it's gone.
What the?
It blew up on us? Jeez, what a lousy trap. Yes, they appear to automatically explode once someone enters their range. Okay, so don't step in there at all. Seeing how we can't get near them, we'll have to avoid or destroy them. That's your call, Joker. Oh, so it was expected that I walked into that range and it exploded to get this dialogue.
Here I go.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. Attack, defense, and movement of target ally. Take additional action. Full technology increase for 3 turns. I don't really need to do that. Target ally. I mean, I can just extend our attack up here to last for maybe the whole final boss here. Just really get a lot of duration there. Why not? Something or other. I don't know. Omen of Calamity. Oh, so just don't be there at the end of the turn. I guess. Or something. Pew pew. More blue. Can I gun from here? I can gun from here, so why don't I just step out here, and then I pew. And then, yeah, I can just do this from here. That's what I can do. I guess I didn't need to raise attack for a longer period of time before, because I can just move to the side and shoot from here. Okay. I just don't get SP back from being close to cover. Oh no, it's all purple now. But I can just shoot from here. I mean, if you move that forward, then I can move forward a little bit. Okay. Do I really need that? Oh, I can't shoot you from a distance anymore. Oh, unless, yes, I can. Okay, so just... Just... Like, what else is there for me to do? I don't need to destroy any paint things. Oh. Whoops. No, don't! Gosh dang it. I don't know what that said. It probably wasn't important. What? Instant game over. Imagine. Ooh, loading screen. Does the battlefield change? Do we have to approach you again? Oh my god, we do. No, stop fast forwarding. Oh my goodness. It's one of those multi-phase things where you get her health to a certain point, and then she changes the battlefield, and you have to go do it again. This is gonna be long. I'm tired of these pathetic attempts at defiance, fruitless as they may be. It's time to extinguish your one for good, here now. Wow, we got blown away. Look, practical situation has changed. Our painting progress has been undone. Like this won't be a walk in the park for us. Now, that should have done us some good, right? She's getting winded? Probably getting winded. Don't give up yet, Phantom Thieves. I'll just keep painting you a new path. Yeah, if Joker would have just shot this damn bird before it transformed, they would not have to fight a god. Yeah. But that's the thing in, like, any video games or anime or anything. You always gotta let them charge up and do their crazy thing or give their whole spiel. Or whatever the heck. Here. Let's pew. Like that. And then... pew. There we go. And then say, I don't know, Sumire go this way this time. I'll get one more set of tiles of paint this way. This orderly flock. Okay, so then there's some dudes. Okay, and then we get some more paint. So I can go around this way now. So, yeah, if I just, like... won't exactly be able to all-out attack. But hey, I can get a whole bunch of shots on you. Just for the love of the sport here. Alright, guess Sumiri's not going around that way. Let's just shoot this guy a whole bunch of times. There we go. Maybe not group together. So we'll all get painted and stuff. Yeah, sure, do that. Cool. Well, arrow of punishment. Wow, that was not a whole lot of damage. This will be more damage now that I'm on paint. Okay, but now I have a little bit of a path. I got some more paint. Also, do I keep my attack up buffs across the battlefield changes? I do. That's kind of nice. Oh, and you count as in the open even when you're here. I can get some blue paint over there. Does that matter? Here, just... yeah, so I guess the black paint does not give you an advantage. Or anything, just the pink stuff. Ooh, come on. And then say, I don't know. Take out this guy before he wrecks me a whole bunch. Something like that. Here, take some shots here. And then... I don't know, just stand here and then do this. ISTG, I don't actually know what this stands for. One day in one of the many things that you're writing, you're gonna have a villain start like transforming or monologuing or something. Then they're just gonna get shot or some shit. Oh my god, you shot me. Yeah, you're being annoying. Yeah, why don't characters just do that in media? Let them charge up their ultimate things, / let them give their whole monologues. Why would I want to stand there anyway? I can shoot you from here. What's the point? All right, there's some more dudes. But like, I can just... oh, I swear to God, I gotcha. Yeah, just do that. Oh, now I have this area here. Here, let's take out one of these guys before they do too much damage to me, I guess. Something like that. Hello, hello, AG. Literally, Travis touchdowns whole shtick. Is that what he does? Here. Well, I probably don't want to both be in the place where you can one more us. But yeah, hey, how's it going? Been a hot second. Sure that has happened before in some game. It probably has.
Here I go.
Probably. Here, let's just like... pew. Never. I don't know, just start shooting the boss, because I can hit that guy once and then not get a one more. Whoa. Can I not shoot the boss? What is my line of sight being blocked by? Is it the paint things? Why can't I shoot you? Oh, is it the orbs? Maybe? But yeah, Travis does do it kind of refreshing. Neat. The more you know. Arrow of punishment. Oh no, I have two doodles in the pink. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have had them as close together as I did. Alright, more paint. Give me paint. And then say... here, then we do this. Q. And then we like, I don't know. Do this or something. Guess it doesn't really matter all that much. And then... I don't know, just to not both be painted, but like, right up your bum.
Time to repay the favor.
No, it actually isn't, as a matter of fact. All right, let's do that. All right, we're in a just fine position now. Why does Joker get HP when behind cover? My other allies don't. Was this some skill that I forgot that I got? Something or other?
What to do here?
More paint. Please, in that pink area right next to me. Nope, that would have been a nice place to shoot from. Can I still shoot from here? Can I not attack Jerry? Like, why? Is it because that's still blocking me? Here. Let's step back and shoot that so my allies can shoot from here.
My turn.
As well, do. Here. Just you.
Now, let's dance.
And then just stand here. And then let me some granola bar at 2 in the morning. Nice. Love to see it. Okay, Divine Wind. Oh no, whatever will I do about this attack? That's crazy. Anyway. Let's see. Here's some paint. That doesn't help me. Like, at all. Can I still shoot? Gosh dang it, this barrel's in my way.
I won't miss from here.
Alright, I won't miss from here, he says, as I literally have to take out the thing that's blocking you from hitting the actual target. Alright, just doesn't really matter where I am here, just you. Ugh! Let me turn. Core of Divine Will. Oh no! What am I gonna do now? That changes everything. Again, this is a Merciless difficulty. There's 5 difficulty modes. Like, I think it's very easy, normal, hard, and Merciless. I'm playing on Merciless right now, which sounds like a super insanely brutal difficulty mode for a game.
My turn.
It just is not. Can I? Oh, there we go.
Shots here.
Also, I was one-shotting those orbs before, but not anymore. I guess my attack up buffs ran out. Can I still attack you? Yeah, I still can. Yeah, that's the thing. Redeemed absolutely nothing. Only the best points redemption. Oh, you're gonna change battlefield again? The only thing is you cretins bring about our pain and strife. It's time I put you down like the rabid animals you are so I can get back to my Lord's work. Yeah, just doing the Lord's work out here. That's Jerry for you. Alright, well, another battlefield. I guess you probably have 4 phases. We're at like the halfway point. Damn it. She changed the terrain again. So what? I'll just keep coming at her as many times as it takes.
Let's go.
Right, let's get to it, senpai. Okay. Paint. Pew pew. It's not like I can get any farther than this. This is probably the quicker way to go, rather than like the little zigzaggy way here, right? Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Alright, I can't one-shot it.
Here I go.
Gosh dang it. Here, just
Persona.
do this. Maybe I should heal you up, especially while my SP is full. I'm gonna slowly recharge here. Is maybe what I should do. Because, yeah, you are a little bit under halfway health, so hey.
Thank you.
For safety's sake, I may as well. And now, I one-shot these things. So, pew. If only they blew up each other if they were close enough. Oh, well. Oh, well. Alright, I'm starting to think that we're not going to be doing Persona 3 Reload tonight. Most likely. Because it has taken me a little bit longer than expected. Okay, well. Where are you gonna paint? Okay, so... what if I just, like... how about I do this? Yeah, like, you would think that they might create, like, a chain reaction or something like that. Driven to despair. Oh, at least it blows up them. I thought I was hitting this back one with that attack, too. Was I not? Whatever. Here, let's do this. How about? Let's get some more blue paint over that way.
Now, let's dance.
And then, like, just ignore that guy and move forward or something. I don't know. Pew. Never. I mean, I guess I can just, like... Can I not shoot him from here? Just so many targets. From what you heard, you can be an Eevee and Explorers of Sky. Yep. And says if you're a Pokemon, you'd like to be a Sylveon or Eevee. Eevee's the perfect choice. So you'll be continuously doing the test until you get Eevee. You can look up the answers online. Is what you have to do. Also, since it's a Generation 4 game, there's no Sylveon in the game. But throughout the whole main game, you have to be, like, pre-evolved form anyway. So it doesn't matter that much. But yeah, you can just look up, like, the right answers. Every single starter that you can get is assigned, like, a personality type. And every answer you give gives points towards a certain type. Like, timid or sassy, something like that. Like, if you say this option, it'll give you 2 points to sassy. If you do this option, it'll give you, like, 2 points to joyous. I don't think that's an actual one there, but just as, like, examples. So you can just look up, like, an answer sheet and which Pokemon corresponds to which personality type. And then you can just select all the answers that give you the thing that you want. Whoops, that was a mistake. There goes half my health.
Let's take them down.
Gosh dang it, man. But yeah. The bomb? I mean, there's the barrels here, but they don't do damage with their explosion.
My turn.
That's the case. Wait, I can't step into that anyway. Why am I being careful?
Taking aim.
Well,
Now, let's dance.
just like... I'm not doing much here. Here, do this. On the previous turn. Oh. Oh, well. I did need one more. I don't know if that would have changed that, but... Defense of all allies for 3 turns. I'm barely taking much damage, apart from when I stupidly shove my face in a bomb. I don't really need a raised defense.
Put them down.
Doesn't matter. Could shoot you from here. But after that, I think I'd rather play it safe than sorry and just, like, fix my little mistake.
I appreciate it.
That's what I think I should probably do. Alright. I honestly think the regular battlefield maps are a lot more interesting, where there's, like, a boss actually on the field that I can figure out how to all-out attack. I think are the more engaging, fun boss battles, as opposed to just, like, make it across the map and shoot the big foe. But yeah. You don't, like, they are completely different. Like, I don't know if you're asking, like, in terms of literally or whether it's recommended story-wise. I assume whether it's recommended story-wise. What's really strange is that it doesn't really seem like it. Even in this DLC that includes, like, the royal characters, they're so personality-less, and they're not even, like, their final versions at the end of Royal. Like, they're basically the early iterations that you find of them in the game. So, like... Kasumi still thinks that she's Kasumi and not Sumire when you find out that she's actually Sumire in the game. And a Sketchy here hasn't shown his true colors of being like a really vengeful bugger. And he's like his super detective, upstanding citizen kind of guy, which is not who he truly is in Persona 5. So this game tries to be this DLC at least, tries to be really careful not to spoil Persona 5 Royal. Even though, presumably, the only people that would be playing this are those that already liked Persona 5 enough to play the spin-off game, so it seems really weird how they would want to avoid spoilers for that. And then, even in the main game of it, the different characters are very, like, one-note and very basic, like, they don't really have any character development themselves. There's a new character that's brought in of Toshiro, who's basically, like, the main character of Persona 5 Tactica, that has character development and all that. But the actual Phantom Thieves are just kind of one note. This is their personality. This is the stuff they do. They're a team. They're working together. You don't really need it per se. Like, there are some little nods to events in Persona 5 where it's like, oh, we dealt with something like this once, but it's not really super needed. So it doesn't feel like they did design this in such a way that they expected people to be able to play this without having played Persona 5. But again, why would you choose this as your go-to strategy game if you weren't already familiar with Persona 5? Like, I don't get it. So, yeah. But yeah, good for new people, I guess, but like, there's a lot better strategy games out there than this. And it's like, presumably it'd only be fans of Persona 5 that would pick this as their go-to strategy game, I would think. So I don't really get it. But yeah, I only play the original still, so it's great for you. Oh, I suppose so there, but like, you should never play this DLC anyway. It's just not very good. Like, again, unless this ending just, like, blows me away. This is a $27 day one DLC. that I'm playing right now that I'm beating. It took me about, like, what was it? 3.5 hours in the first stream, and now it's 2.5 hours. So this is about a 6-hour DLC that just, it's not very good. How was the base game, though? It was literally the definition of a mixed bag, I would say. Here, let's go ahead and do this. A little bit over half of the story is really, really good. And the other, just slightly less than half of the story, is really, really crap. And the story isn't even told in an interesting way, because it's told with these cutscenes that just have, like, the 2D art of the characters talking. And there's not really anything interesting visibly happening like there would have been in main game Persona. So, like, the cutscenes are just, like, the most boring thing imaginable. It decided to be a very story-heavy game here. And the method by which it tells that story is in a very boring way. So even though there is some really good story content in there, it just is not told in, like, a very good way at all, in my opinion. Like, it's not very interesting. Here, let's do this and do that. Once again, I'm sorry you paid real money for this DLC. Yeah. You just want to play Persona without the relationship side quests? Yeah, well, there's none of that in this. But I do actually quite like Toshiro's story. But I can describe in more detail, like, the stuff that's really good and really bad about it, if you don't care about spoilers, Adri. If you do care about spoilers, usually I'd say that this kind of stuff is fair game since we're already this far in, but I don't really have to mention it here, and we're so close to the end of this DLC. I can just, like, not mention that stuff there. Oh, I might not actually be able to get out of here now, unless you paint the right place. Nope, you painted in the middle of bumblefuck nowhere. Oh, some of my allies actually have to eat it now. That's awkward. I guess I should have stayed closer to my escape route. Oh, crap. I'm actually gonna eat it. Gosh dang it, I walked right into that. Alright, well now I raised the fence. But yeah, I can talk about more, like, detail about, like, the actual intricacies of the story, what's really good and really bad if you want, but if not, I won't. So, let me know. A little bit about... Yeah, I'll avoid spoilers for now, still debating if you want to get it. Well, I may as well shoot you. But yeah, the non-spoilery version is, there's, well, I guess, do I want to say I might, well, fine, there's 4 worlds. That's probably not too spoilery to say. Swept away. That didn't do a massive ton of damage. I mean, it was about half my health. That still is a pretty decent amount of damage, but whatever. There's 4 worlds. In my opinion, the story of the first world is super lame-o and sucks until about the end. And around the end, it's like, oh, this is good shit now. And then World 2, absolute banger as well. World 3, a super banger there. It's really good, and it should have ended with that. And then World 4 just kind of throws that all in the trash and puts all the blame on something else. And then it feels very similar to Persona 5 already there. And it's like, wait, what's the point of doing this? Couldn't we have just ended after World 3? It probably would have made more sense story-wise, in my opinion. And World 4 just sucks story-wise. And it's just like, what even is the point of this? Here, go here, and then you'll get some of your HP back. Like, the character that was, the main character that was brought in for this game, Toshiro, you don't even find out that he's important until the end of World 1, basically. And it does really, really cool things with him until World 3. And then after that, it's just like, yeah, his story's done. Now just take on Big Bad. Is the spoiler-free version-ish, I guess. So what that sort of is. It'd be really nice if I could just, like, chain reaction that. Oh, I don't have enough. Crap. So there's some really good parts of the story. The music slaps. The music is amazing in this game. I love it. Music's really, really good. Is there a medium area one? Oh yeah, I could have changed my, my things again. My sub-personas. I kept forgetting. Whoops. My stats would have been higher here if I had just done that. Oh, wow. Hey, I hit the boss with that, too. Sweet. But yeah, the story does some cool things. It just tells it in a very not interesting way. And the story isn't always doing cool things, just sometimes. And, the gameplay can be pretty good at times. I felt even in Merciless like it was way too easy in the first world. Like, it did get harder as it went on, luckily. But man, it's not a very, very difficult game at all. The music is amazing. I love the music of this game. It slaps so hard. Okay, just more paint. Would highly recommend listening to the OST on YouTube. It's really, really good. I mean, Persona soundtracks always slap. Phew. 22? That was like nothing. Is that how little damage I do if I'm, that was actually nothing. Oh, because it's probably the exact amount required to get you to the next phase. So I may as well take this turn to heal a Sketchy, because I don't think I'm doing anything else to the boss. Yeah, it really does not at all feel like that. It really doesn't. But this is the Merciless difficulty. Developing Tranquility, so this has got to be the last phase here. But yeah, and like, the main game definitely has, like, some pros. There are some things that I do really, really like about it. This Day 1 DLC, I'm not really a fan. Yeah, this is the way the story is told, through cutscenes in this format.
I hate to admit it, but she's in a different league entirely.
Such lonely e-brains. I am the architect of the streets. Everything you see here only exists because I willed it so. To think that such lowly beings as yourself stand
You speak up.
against me is absolutely laughable.
Is the music getting cooler at least?
You're the boss here. Don't make me laugh.
I do love the music.
Nice try bluffing, Jerry. But if you really control everything here, why didn't you just wipe Luca out yourself?
Shut your mouth.
This is a spiritual world built from the mind. The imagination sets the rules here. The memory of my big sis was the one thing you couldn't ever control. That's why you were afraid of Luca, right?
Oh.
My imagination's more powerful here than you.
Why does nobody in the gaming industry know how to mix their audio?
Then you just watched me prove you wrong.
Cease this tantrum.
Thank goodness for subtitles at least.
You has no place to find me.
Or else I would have no idea what's being said right now.
I'm still in control of this world.
So quiet. But now she has more colors than blue. Whoa, what a shot. Silly. Get painted.
What have you done with this place?
Oh no. I'm covered in colors now.
How dare you cover up my fine work? This is worse than insulting. It's a downright.
I'll turn up the overall volume a smidge here.
Desecration.
But the music is still louder than their voices.
Don't get so worked up. It's just the law of the land for street art, you know? Anything that looks like shit is fair game to cover up.
Wow. You disgusting lowly humans.
That's a thief. Let's get her ass. How the outcasts of society take care of business.
I was actually looking forward and like not at the subtitles for once. And I did not have any idea what was said. Like I can read the subtitles now. Vote now on your phones.
Senpai, are you moving out? I'm right behind you.
Okay, so now it's actual final phase, and now Jerry's just like splatted. I guess. Are we just going right into it, or is there another cutscene? Oh, it looks like this now. This is absurd. Absolutely absurd. How could this be?
Humans.
Oh. Oh, just the first two lines of voice there. And they're worthless art. I guess you still don't get it, Jerry. The good that art does, and the good that people do. Stop talking like you know better than us, you phony-ass god. Quit messing with our world.
Here it comes.
That's it. Playtime's over. We gotta put this bird to bed, no matter what it takes.
Yeah,
Indeed. I look forward to making the final masterstroke to this work. She's got it coming.
Yes.
I'll stop her. Once and for all. Okay, so are they always at a disadvantage? The big guy isn't there. But yeah, why is it only loading up the chat shadow and not the regular chat when I turn it back on? OBS is weird sometimes. But yeah, this final boss seems like it'd be very, very tedious if you're playing alone. What, in terms of like one party member here, or just like me playing it without streaming? Or both? Like, if I was playing this without streaming, I'd probably just be watching like YouTube on the side. I'm just going through the phases or something like that. But yeah, I think we should turn the music up. I can almost hear the characters' voices. Yeah, that's right. Hello, Snow Penguin. Yeah, lost paintball fight because that's the whole gimmick of this day one DLC here. But yeah. Oh yeah, they could have just used Roost. That would have been kind of fitting there. Man, I really hate when gods are poorly written and one-dimensional. Yeah. Like, I kind of like the way that the god was handled in Persona 5 main game. Because it's like, this was a god that was created through the will of the people, and it was like super symbolic with everything going on there and the whole depths of mementos and all that. I was like, whoa, this is cool. This is some kind of heavy stuff. Like, there wasn't much personality to that god, but the circumstances for its existence, like, had like some actual interesting stuff going on. This is just like, we want a god again. Is every Persona final boss a god or something? Like, is that what I'm gonna find out when I get to the end of Persona 3 Reload? Can someone snipe that, Dudo? Okay, yeah. So, maybe I'll just do that. Because it's just lame, and it's like, what's the point of this? What's the point of this day one DLC? Like, what makes it worth it to get? Like, the gameplay is a bit different with the paint. And that could be kind of interesting. Not worth the price. There's some different music, I think. Not enough to warrant it. It's definitely not the story to be, like, the draw of this. Should I just do, like, a big triangle or something here? Just to take out these initial couple guys? Might not be a bad idea, right? Yeah, I still get them both. But yeah, can I get more dire than fighting God, to be honest? Yeah, I guess it does make it a pretty dire circumstance and all that, but like, it feels so typical at this point after playing, even just after playing Persona 5, the main game of that, then Royal, the additional story there, then the main game here, and then the DLC of this, where it's like, every single final boss is always a god. People tell me that's gonna be what happens with Strikers as well when I eventually get to that. And now I have a feeling that's gonna be what happens when I get to the end of 3 Reload. Like, I don't know if the Persona series in general is as addicted to just like constantly making you face down gods. If that's a Persona thing or just a Persona 5 thing or what's going on. Yeah, maybe you should have joined the final stream of Persona 5 spin-off while you're trying to avoid spoilers for the story of Persona 5. Oh, there wouldn't be any spoilers in the game here, but, you know, I am kind of mentioning myself. Spoilers. Sorry about that, but the DM. Yeah, I kind of figure anything that's been done on the stream up to this point in a certain series is fair game. Is what I usually figure. But yeah, I'll still say Scramble was the better name than Strikers. Here. I'm not. Should I triangle attack in there? Like, I'm not gonna triangle attack that guy. Your fault for joining. Fair enough there. But yeah, spoilers. There's godlike beings. Still highly recommend going through to the end of Persona 5 though, because it really slaps. Also, I'm getting a weird sense of deja vu right now, and I don't know why. Okay, so let's say I was here. I get these couple guys. Wait, can I get more? If I did say this, I can get more. Heck yeah. Let's do it. You. This guy is still set up for a... Is he still set up for one more? He still is, yeah. So maybe I'll do this. Will I be able to triangle attack out of this? Yeah, I still can. I don't even need to necessarily get that same guy in there. You can't march over and beat my butt, can you? I don't think you can from there. So I think this is a fair game spot to do that. And then maybe Joker just like takes a shot at the boss. Something like that from over here. Maybe. Oh, you just have like 630 HP. It's not like the total that you had before or anything. Okay. Divine Wind. Will I get those guys? Imagine. If only. Disorderly Flock. Alright, this is a lot of guys you're summoning. And I have no cover to use, like, at all. So I mean, like, here. So I can just do this. And then say, I don't know, go into a little hidey hole corner. I can move you more over that way, so it might be easier to triangle attack you. Maybe what I can do. Go into the corner, and then, like, push you this way. And I'm definitely getting you all in the triangle. Yeah, it's unlimited ammo, because if you ran out, you just wouldn't really be able to do anything anymore. Would be the case. I guess you could figure out how to melee, but that would be quite a pain there, I would think. All right, many pews. Many, many pews indeed. Okay.
I'll wrap this up.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful.
You're in trouble now.
Okay. And then maybe a sketchy just like raises our health. Something here. Not our health, our attack.
Persona.
Yeah, sure. So when we do damage to the boss, it'll be more. I don't know how much it raises it by, but hey, it's something. Arrow of punishment. Yeah, it kind of sucks when there's literally no cover I can use. So, like, what am I to do? I can't even have, like, paint of my own. I kind of preferred it when paint was on the field, rather than this mishmash here.
I'll wrap this up.
Let's take them down.
Well, I mean, like,
Show them how I feel.
he does a lot of damage to the boss. Holy crap.
This close to victory.
Here, but I may as well do this. So, do persona attacks against the boss, and I guess I can actually reach her with them without getting, like, right in her face. It seems like. Okay, so then I just, like,
It's over.
do this. I mean, I'm also doing a lot of damage with the attack boost and stuff now, I'm sure. So, I mean, do that. Wait, I would have been able to get 2 if I had not done Joker there. Oh, I can still do this way. And that'll just kill him. I guess with the attack boost. Nice. So then a sketchy and Joker can just... Heavy, severe, the size of eternal darkness. That's a lot of damage. I'm going for it. Scythes.
I'll wrap this up quick.
Okay. When I was only doing like 28 or whatever that first hit was, I was really worried this is gonna take like forever. But like, maybe I don't really have to worry about that. So with attack buffed World's End. Oh, I just win!
Robin Hood.
I thought this was gonna take forever. Nope.
How dare you!
How dare you! This can't be. Losing so gracelessly to mere humans. This isn't it, Jerry. We're gonna show you what happens when you mess with humans and their art.
This can't be.
Man, she was really mad about her pet bird screwing around with her art in her studio. There. Alright. You look like a side character that would be in the movie Rio.
Bested by humans?
Before we wrap this up, would you mind telling us whose orders you've been following?
Imagine this is like a sequel.
No, I've not been granted permission.
Unless it's just the boss
to
of the main
reveal
game.
The truth. What a pity. To think I'd fall short of my duty.
Is it actually hinting that there's a bigger
Something
big bad?
so pointless as art.
You talk an awful lot of shit about art. But you still recognized my ability, didn't you? You may be a rotten, miserable thing. But even still, you got my art. On that point alone, I think we were able to see eye to eye.
Artists are such unbelievable nitwits. Can't even bring yourself to hate me properly. Guernica, you silly child.
Okay, bye. She got banished to the Shadow Realm.
Never find out who she really was?
Ah, Doesn't do us any good thinking about it.
This looks like a setting you'd see in the Nier
Well,
games.
I'm glad you're okay now, Guernica-san. Sorry, Tao-san.
Looks like the final area of
Guernica's
Nier
just
Replicant.
fine. You're the only ones who know my old name. I'm both Tao and Guernica. Plus, I've got Luca with me. Big Sis is right here in my heart. I know that for a fact.
She's in your heart.
What's wrong? Are you crying?
What? Why am I... I'm sorry. Please, don't mind me. More importantly, what are you going to do now, Guernica-san?
The same thing I always do. Keep making art for all the poor saps out there. People just like me. And for all the bastards who trample us and make sure we're never heard. I'll get right up in their faces. But I imagine that won't sit well with certain folks.
Considering your artistic reputation, it wouldn't be impossible for you to shift into mainstream success. But I wager that would go against your principles.
Yep, you called it. I have to keep my promise to Luca. And there are others. People who showed me kindness out on the street. I'm walking this path for them until there's not another step left in front of me.
I don't know. Impressive, aren't you?
Think so? I must have picked that up from Luca at some point. All right then. It's about time we say goodbye. I'll send you all back home.
We'll miss you, Guernica-san. Luca-san, too.
Same here. Catch you later, Phantom Thieves. And thanks again. I'm sure our paths will cross again at some point.
I actually
Even
don't
if
think
we
they
forget
will.
This moment. I know it.
The music just suddenly cuts out. It doesn't even fade out. Oh, is she still alive?
Where am I? Wait.
Is it gonna
how am
reveal
I?
that the true big bad was the main game final boss, or is it actually gonna imply at like a sequel?
My righteous lord.
Where if it does
you
that, I'm gonna be
graced
so
me with
mad.
Your presence. Forgive me. I lacked the strength to fulfill my duty.
Please just be the main game final boss
Yes, I
I
understand. Destruction and chaos are certainly contrary to your will. I will wholly accept my return to the void, along with all my faults. As I return to the void, I shall pray that your desire for a harmonious world will be brought to fruition.
Okay, that's gotta be just main game final boss then.
Tranquility going out
It's gotta be.
to all the earth.
It doesn't even reveal for sure who it is. That's gotta be main game final boss then. Imagine the next Persona 5 spin-off just has to expect you to have beaten the Persona 5 Tactica DLC to know that there was some bird that was being controlled by some big bad who's the big bad of the next game or something like that. How dumb that would be. Why am I here?
Huh? What am I doing here?
Yoshizawa-san, and you as well.
Why not just reveal
I
it
came here to
as main
investigate
game
the
final
graffiti,
boss?
then- Wait, what the? Where'd it go? There's no graffiti here.
You know, I've actually got the same feeling that there used to be something here.
Their memory wiped? No use worrying about it.
Awfully optimistic. Collective amnesia's a pretty big deal, if you ask my opinion.
Although, I think I kind of agree. It's like there's a gap in my memory, but for some reason it's not concerning.
At any rate, it
I mean,
appears
I
I'm
wouldn't be
back to
concerned
square
if this
one
was
in
wiped from my memory
investigation.
either.
I'll be heading off now.
Alright, take care. We should get going too, huh? I'll see you at school.
Funny. I felt compelled to touch the wall, but when I do, nothing happens. How do you even do that?
Would have thought impossible. A colossal mural covering the entire front of a government building. Despite the high security, this work was completed in a single night. Experts have already weighed in. This is unmistakably the work of Guernica. A public work of this scale has not been seen before. Many are already claiming that this will propel Guernica to international fame.
Sucks for the people that had their windows blocked.
Get a load of that, Phantom Thieves. They're finally taking notice. When our paths cross again, it'll be with a smile.
So she remembers. Why does she remember and we forget?
Some are calling for the graffiti's immediate removal, while others, both locally and abroad, are demanding its preservation. While removing
I know
the
that's just an
place
aesthetic
the
thing,
entire
but I can't help
facade
but
would
think
be
that the government
impossible.
building has a health
Alternative
bar.
Solutions are currently flying about.
Man, this has the whole city freaking out. It's on all the channels. I never expected someone else out there to pull our kind of stunts.
I wonder who Guernica is.
Yeah, I do too. I wish we could find out more about them. By the way, you seem awfully cheerful.
No, he doesn't.
We need to get going. We don't want to make the chief flip his lid.
What are we doing? I gotta go into what? To what? So if the credits start rolling and it doesn't reveal to what. Music sounds pretty nice. Why is it just a black screen? It's a long build-up before whatever's it's gonna reveal. Oh, paint. Yeah, it is that. I swear if it doesn't reveal after the credits what the thingamabob was. Oh, and there's just the chat shadow thingamabob again. But yeah, let's see here. And a good morning, Reggie Bump. It's like Sonic 06 might as well have never happened. God, you hate that. Did we really just pull from the worst part of the first Pokemon movie? What, was there like a graffiti thing? Or, oh no, the end of the first Pokemon movie, I never know what you're saying now. The whole, we don't remember it. The entire thing happened and we went on this crazy adventure. But then it's, oh, we don't remember that. Oh, here's a hint of the thing that happened. I wonder what that is. Let's keep on going on our adventure. And we're heading out to who knows what. Well, that was a $27 day one DLC. Honestly, if that was just included in the main game, just as like an extra side mode or something like that for free, I wouldn't really be that mad at it. It would have been like, okay, that was all right, but I'm gonna forget it so fast. It didn't really do anything all that special, but hey, like free content. But considering that was paid content that was released on day one, meaning this was co-developed alongside the main game just to be able to make more money rather than, like, it's not even one of those DLCs that was developed after the fact for more content later, which is the way that DLCs should be handled, as opposed to day one DLCs where it's co-developed and then it's just to get more money, is what it is. Yeah, I did indeed. I paid more money than I already paid for just buying this game. This was already a full price game. And I don't think that this main game, like just the game in general, that is, I don't think it sold super well. I don't think I could ever find any sales figures, but I don't think the game sold super well. And I think that's probably for two reasons. One, I'd say, is probably Persona 5 fatigue, like how many Persona 5 spin-offs they're released, like already with Strikers, Persona Q2, there was the dancing game, and then like this spin-off. Like I'm sure there's a little bit of Persona 5 fatigue at this point. And then two, like the chibi art style. They went with the chibi art style of Persona Q, which doesn't really fit like the general aesthetic of the original main game / Strikers that had like the more mature kind of feel to it with its art style, whereas you go with chibi like this and it's going to feel like it belongs on the 3DS and or it's not gonna be all as much interesting of content. And like the main game did get into some genuinely interesting subject matter. Like I did genuinely enjoy Toshiro's story. That's all stuff that I've talked about during the main game stuff. But like it's just, it doesn't have that feel with this kind of art style. But the fact that this is already a game that I don't think sold super duper well because Persona 5 fatigue plus the style that they went for with this, and they decided to release a day one DLC at $27. It's like, really? I think memory wipe endings just objectively suck. Honestly, agreed. I can't believe they did a memory wipe ending at the end. And even when it comes to the way they handle the story of this, like, again, the people that I would expect to be playing this game are those that have played Persona 5 already. Why is it giving, like, credits for Salmael, the final boss of the main game that wasn't even in here? Is this just, like, the full credits again? Anyway, whatever. I would expect that the people that buy this game are those that already like Persona 5 and like strategy games, I would imagine. Or just like Persona 5 enough that they're willing to get into this spin-off here. Because otherwise, if you're just a fan of strategy games and you're not familiar with Persona 5, why wouldn't you just choose like any other strategy game as your strategy game of choice? Like there's no shortage of those anywhere out there. So it really, really confuses me how they tried really hard to avoid spoilers for Persona 5 Royal. So the spoilers here right now that I'm about to list if anyone cares about that. But in Persona 5 Royal, Kasumi here, you eventually find out that she's not actually Kasumi. Turns out Kasumi is actually Sumire, and Kasumi is her sister that passed away, and she didn't want to acknowledge that. So she was Jedi mind-tricked into thinking that she was Kasumi, and like the super successful one, and not Sumire that was always looking up to her sister who passed away. But this game referred to her as Kasumi, and not Sumire, to avoid that spoiler. And Akechi, through most of the game of Persona 5, he's this detective that's like this really upstanding guy, but is also on like the Phantom Thieves trail, but temporarily joins them during the part where we go after Sei's palace. And after that palace and Joker is taken into custody, he reveals his true colors as he literally tries to murder Joker. He's brought to the metaverse and like murders the fake Joker, not realizing that he's been duped. And then like he's still a little bit of an enemy for a while, and we face him in battle, and then kind of get to be on good terms with him. And then with the new royal content, he becomes like a friendo when we have to unite against a common foe. But by then he's revealed his true colors. He's no longer wearing like the white robe, and well, that's not a robe, but like the white outfit and using Robin Hood. He's wearing like this full black outfit with his jet black mask, and he's using Loki or something like that as his persona. So I would have thought, like, because I would imagine the only people playing this are Persona 5 fans that wanted to play this as their strategy game of choice, that you would think that, for one, it would include those characters in the main game, because it's been long enough now since, like, Persona 5 Strikers came out, what, like a few months after Royal? So they would have been co-developed, and it's like, okay, I guess you couldn't expect to have the Persona 5 Royal characters in Strikers, and they're not in Strikers, which is a little bit disappointing, but I guess if they're co-developed, you can't expect that. But when this came out years after Royal at this point, why wouldn't these characters be in the main game? Why are they in a day one DLC, for one? And two, why is it these earlier game versions of them that just avoid the spoilers about like the true nature of both their characters? When, like, do you think that people that aren't fans of Persona 5 look at this game and are gonna say like, wow, that looks like a really cool strategy game. I should pick that up. Wow, I really enjoyed that strategy game. I'm gonna shell out $27 for this day one DLC. Wow, these one-note characters are really fascinating, because again, they have like no personality here. It's just like their personality traits and no character development, so they're not even all that interesting. But you really think anyone's gonna be like, wow, these characters are really interesting. I really want to learn more about them. I'm gonna actually play Persona 5 Royal now and play and find out more about them. Like, is that actually what Atlus thought was gonna happen here?
Must be a right nuisance for the governor.
Like, what were they thinking?
Statesmen like yourself should avoid getting involved in trivial matters such as these. The leader of the masses must always hold sight of the big picture. Understand, Toshiro?
Yes, of course, Father.
Okay, so this was before the events of the main game.
You seem rather fascinated by the whole affair.
I'm merely considering the precarious position that the governor finds himself in. Here the political world is on the cusp of change, and now he's being tripped up by some petty vandalism.
long as you understand the situation.
What, and that kind of inspired him to be more of a fan of the Phantom Thieves or something like that before the events of the main game. And if that confirms that this is before the events of the main game, then that means that the one that, whatever the heck, Patty the Parrot, I forget what her name is already, what must have been reporting to the final boss of the main game in that case. The bonus for completing the DLC story, extra content will be available in New Game Plus playthroughs of the main story. I'm fairly certain it's just these two characters are available in the main game now if you New Game Plus it. Once the Phantom Thieves are reassembled, Takechi and Kasumi will become available as party members. New images will also be added to the images and special art section of the report screen. Challenges have been added as a DLC bonus. I think I'm pretty done with this game. I don't really want to do more. Honestly, access these new challenges through the DLC mode's main menu. I think I've done enough of my obligations for showcasing this game. I don't think I need to go do all the challenges in challenge mode or anything like that. This is going to bring us to the title screen now. Oh, we're getting this theme. Oh. So I click this. Yeah, we get this theme here. I do like that theme, so let's just be on this screen for now, I guess, while I finish my review of the DLC here and stuff. But yeah, it's funny because that ending sucks so bad. Mega Man X5 does it as their bad ending because they know that it's an unsatisfying conclusion, the memory wipe. And that's how Persona 5 Royal actually did it. Like, the bad ending of Persona 5 Royal, when you say, okay, Maruki, you can make your new world and stuff like that, we forget about him being in control and just go merrily about our lives in the world that he crafts. And it is called a bad ending. So I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, that is literally what this is a spin-off of. Well, if you count, like, Royal as opposed to, like, main game Persona 5. But essentially what this game is a spin-off of has it as one of their bad endings too, when Dr. Maruki takes over everything and we just kind of forget about that. And even a Sketchy, who like really hated Maruki, is all like happy and friendly and loves everyone, even though that's so completely against his true personality. So I guess he just got like brainwashed or something like that. But yeah, honestly, one of the only acceptable ways to do it, yeah, just have it as like a bad ending. Remember when people were sponsored by this game? They were? What? There were people that were like covering this as like sponsorships? What? Like, okay, interesting. I love how show game license is one of the main options on the main menu. Made with Unity. Remember when people liked Unity more before they were like, we want to take more of a cut of your games now? And even though they walked that back, that's still like a major reputation hit. I've developed 2 games in Unity myself. That would be Nightmare Crucible and Double Rider for my Unity games. One way that that memory wipe endings can work is by having it be the way New Game Plus integrates into the lore. Oh, like do it again and memory is wiped, but you still have like all your stuff, maybe. But yeah, it was either this or that Persona 3 remaster. Oh, for people being sponsored by it. Yeah, I didn't hear about either or. Like, it would make more sense for Persona 3 Reload, I would imagine, since they wanted to hype that up as like a bigger release. Most likely. I don't know. But anyway, when it comes to other stuff with the story of this, the characters, as I was briefly mentioning earlier, they are very, very one note. Like, they don't have any character development or anything actually interesting going on in this, like the main cast of 3. I mean, Joker, even in Persona 5, is just like a personality-less. You're meant to project yourself onto this silent protagonist, is what's going on there. What is going on at, like, the edges of the purple thing there? Is that just, like, the left one is the effect of Sumire's, like, outfit, I guess. I didn't really know the right term. But it's, like, weird and bubbly on the right. That's weird. Anyway, the characters, they feel like random side recruits in a Fire Emblem game, where it's like, there's 2 notes of their personality, and that's their entire character, except less interesting than the random recruits in a Fire Emblem game, because at least those random recruits will have like support conversations that reveal some interesting stuff about them. But considering the game that really delves into their characters is Persona 5, this didn't really feel the need to do that. It was just like, hey, Kasumi in this context, is a gymnast that isn't officially with the Phantom Thieves. That's her character. And a Sketchy is an ace detective that was on the trail of the Phantom Thieves, but is temporarily working with them. That's their entire characters in this game, pretty much. While sometimes nodding to, hey, we once did this thing together. Like, sometimes referencing some of the events of Persona 5. Like, there's nothing actually interesting going on with them. So again, that more so implies that you would be expected to already know the more interesting stuff about them from Persona 5. But again, then it's like, why wouldn't they spoil the later stuff about their characters from Persona 5? Like, do they genuinely think that with these one-note boring portrayals of these characters in this day one DLC for a game that already, I don't think, sold super well, that people were gonna go like, wow, this has got me really interested in Persona 5 that I haven't played before. This game really makes me want to go out and play Persona 5 now. But I feel like it would have the opposite effect, honestly. So it's like, this should have just been a game that was designed for fans of Persona 5 / Persona 5 Royal, rather than expecting to get people interested in it when it's told with such these one-note versions. With these just such one-note versions, what I wanted to say, but I muzzled my words together. So it doesn't really appeal to either. It doesn't appeal to fans of Persona 5 because it doesn't even show their final versions or explore them in all that depth. And it's not really going to appeal to non-Persona 5 fans / get them interested in Persona 5 because they're so one-note and boring, is the case. But yeah, I enjoyed talking on this stream while you sat through this DLC that you paid money for. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Actually, Digimon does a memory wipe ending, but there it feels really earned. Okay, so a very different approach to a memory wipe ending. Anyway, but that's what's going on with these characters. It's not a very long DLC. Like, it took me longer than I was expecting. This was about 6 hours in total. Or 5.5, I think, because the last time I streamed this, how long was it? Was it 2.5? Or 3.5 hours the last time I streamed this? Switch input and check again really quickly. It was 3.5. So in total, that took me 6.5 hours, this DLC. So, it'll take a little while. Nowhere near as long as the main game, but it takes a little bit of a while. But all the objective is go get these 3 murals so you can put them together and save Guernica. Go save Guernica Van Dam. And, like, we go into this world, we see that this bitch is shooting all these mouse people and making them explode like they got splat in Splatoon. And there's this evil bird that seems to be manipulating her. And we team up with this other mouse person to go grab these murals and stuff like that and make Guernica remember who she is. And then it's only after, I think it's after the second mural, that it's revealed that they're sisters. And like this companion that we have is actually the older sister of Guernica when they were like on the streets and stuff like that. And this is like the younger version that she remembered because the real version of her passed away at a young age. And it's like this super tragic backstory and yada yada, this massive lore dump. And it's like you go get the last mural and for whatever reason she dies when saving Guernica. Like again, she's not like the real Luca, just the one that's like in her heart, because that's how Persona 5 stuff works with the whole palaces and hearts and metaverse and all that. I still don't really get why she had to die though. It's like, okay, that felt very out of place. I mean, maybe the explanation would be now that Guernica remembers that Luca died, now Luca has to die. But then if she didn't remember her in the first place, then why did she exist in the first place? I don't know. It just felt very forced and out of nowhere, and like it was short enough that there wasn't enough like emotional build-up or investment. We were just told when we got like this second slab of painted rock that, ooh, big plot twist reveal, they're actually sisters. Oh, here's a lore dump of how they had like this tragic backstory together and Luca tragically passed away. And then like just a couple hours later, there's like tragically dying, and it's like, there's not that much of a build-up. Like, do they really expect players to actually genuinely be emotionally invested at this point? Because there really is not an emotional investment at that point. I felt like it just felt very forced, and like it would have needed to be explored a whole lot further and in like a full game experience and not like a DLC side story if you actually want players to be emotionally invested at that point. At least that's what I feel like. And then the whole fact that like the one that was pulling the strings behind Guernica is this little pink parrot is like the most goofy and underwhelming thing. And the fact that she's a godlike being at the end, it's like, ugh, how many times are we gonna do this? So, yeah, and I guess her master was the one that was like the final boss of the main game. I still think it's funny to imagine that it's just hinting at some future game or something like that instead. That'd be really funny, and also really screwed up. So that was the story. Like, again, the main game did genuinely do some interesting things with Toshiro, and I did really like Toshiro as a character. But this just felt like... I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like it tried to be like a whole lot more serious than it ever had any chance of being, is what it kind of felt like. Rabbids Donkey Kong DLC, except it's a fully voiced and text-heavy RPG instead of some quick and comedic cutscenes. Maybe might be an interesting way to describe it, but like, in that short time and just going and collecting murals, you're not really gonna get emotional investment. And also with the story, it suffers from the same problem as the main game, where it's like the cutscenes just aren't very interesting with the format that it tells it in. And it's just so goofy when you watch these character arts just like shaking up and down like that. And it's just so silly looking, and it makes it even harder to take it seriously. So, yeah, the main game story had some cool things going on. This felt like it was trying really, really hard to be, but it just, The music was good. It was mostly music from the main game. I'm fairly certain there might have been like some new different themes in there. I think, I'm not entirely sure. And like, they were good. There was nothing that was so much like, holy crap, this is the most amazing thing I've ever heard. But like, it was good. The music's always good in these. So that's the story, gameplay, music. Art style, I mean, basically same as the main game is what it is. And like, the enemies are just rebadged versions of main game enemies. There wasn't really any enemies that worked differently. Like, the paint, having it play a little bit differently with the whole paint mechanic was kind of interesting. At the end of the day, I didn't really like how the paint worked all that much, but at least it was something different to throw a wrench into the works, I suppose. Because the paint basically made it so that no matter what your position, you would be screwed on the second hit, no matter what. Whether you're out in the open or up along cover, it doesn't really matter. And you can already, like, two-shot enemies to kind of screw them. Like, if you just hit them with a persona attack in the main game, then the next shot would always be, like, a get 'em and a follow-up. So that didn't really change much in terms of hitting enemies, but it definitely screwed you a bit more and just felt like, okay, my position really doesn't matter. And it felt like it kind of took some of the strategy out when your positioning on the battlefield no longer really matters all that much. Like, you just try to position yourself so that less enemies can reach you, I guess, and hope that you don't get screwed. Apart from that, if you're going to be surrounded by a bunch of enemies, it doesn't matter if you're up against cover or out in the open. If you're on your paint, the moment you eat a second hit, you're screwed. And just eat a whole bunch of damage. Also, Merciless was not very merciless. How to play Persona 5 Tactica, close the game, then open Persona 5 Royal, now enjoy the better game. Yeah, that's what I would say. Like, if there's anyone that watched this series and is thinking about picking up this game and you haven't played Persona 5 Royal, play Persona 5 Royal. It's actually a really, really good game. It's a long game. You have to be prepared to put a lot of hours into it. I wonder if I can see what my hours are in this. Like, when the last time that I played Persona 5 Royal was. It's been a hot second now since doing that playthrough. Nope. When did I have Let's Go Eevee in there? I really had Let's Go Eevee in there before the last time I had Persona 5 Royal. I know I have a couple hundred hours in it, though. It's a long game, but it is really, really good, and it is probably in my top 10 favorite video games nowadays. The main game was very much a mixed bag, and this was definitely a lot more negative than positive. Plus, Day 1 DLC, which is always a massive, massive con for things for me. So, I would say, in terms of Persona 5 Tactica in general, if you enjoyed Persona 5 and you like strategy games, then yeah, I'd say that the main game of Persona 5 Tactica can be worth picking up when it's on sale. This DLC, probably really not, unless like Persona 5 Tactica just becomes like your favorite strategy game ever and you love the gameplay so much. I just want to have a look-see at what this stuff is. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna go to bed. Challenge stages. The challenge stages contain 5 high difficulty battles. The units available to use, as well as their parameters and available skills, are fixed for each stage. In addition, the following features will be unavailable: baton passes, changing the difficulty, changing sub-personas or equipment. Do your best to conquer these challenges. And there's only 5? That seems pretty bare bones. I could probably do it, but I'm also pretty done with this game. Like, I've challenged some really difficult strategy game challenges on this channel. I don't think that that's all that worth doing. Like, I did all the story content. This is just like, hey, here's some more maps that you can play. So I don't feel as obligated to do that. I just wanted to get through all the main content of main game plus DLC, and I've done that. So I think I'm done. Like, unless I'm like really bored at Fragapalooza or something like that, and I'm just like, hey, let's like push my tactical skill. But if the difficulty is set, and I was playing on Merciless before, I do wonder how challenging the challenge stages really will even be. Like, I have a feeling that they probably wouldn't be super hard. Who would have thought that trying to make a spin-off from a game that's over 100 hours long, which has a very specific kind of audience, would result in an inferior product? Yeah, again, the main game has some... Like, my overall perspective on the main game is the things that it does good are really, really good, and the things that it does bad are really, really bad. This DLC just felt, like, pointless. Is what it kind of felt like to me. Where it's like, trying to get you emotionally invested in this short story that doesn't really give you a whole lot of time to get emotionally invested. It's like, okay, we've done this in so many other video games better. What's the point of doing this here? Oh yeah, money, day one DLC, and all that. Like, it just felt super artificial and meh, was the case. Why does the Sketchy's eye look like it belonged to like a FNAF animatronic or something like that? Yeah. I think I'm done. I think I'm knocking this off the game queue. I'm gonna say that this was the final stream. Unless I'm feeling really, really spicy in the future, I'm not making any promises about playing the challenge stages, so like 95% chance I probably am not doing them. Is what I would say. I figured this would take me like an hour and a half to clear from where I was before. I'm now 3 hours, 15 minutes into streaming. So I said if I had some more time, I would switch to Persona 3 Reload, but I can't exactly be staying up all night tonight. I gotta be doing some maintenance on my truck tomorrow and go Hascap picking with my cousin's kids. Gonna go out to a Hascap farm and pick a whole bunch of berries to bring home, is the plan. So I gotta be up at a decent hour for that, so guess there's no time for Persona 3 Reload tonight. We'll play that the next time I'm streaming Persona, and now I'm knocking this off the queue. I'll play through Persona 3 Reload, and then sometime after that, the next Persona game after that will probably be 5 Strikers. But that probably won't be for a long time. I feel like 3 Reload is gonna take me like forever, considering Persona 5 took me like 200 plus hours. You know. Yeah, unless they're planning on Persona 5 Baseball down the park, then you think this game has spoiled interest in future games under Persona 5 spin-offs. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel as well. Like, I hear that Strikers is pretty good, and I'll play that at some point. At some point. It could be years down the line before I have time. Who knows? Maybe I just won't have time. Maybe I just shouldn't make any promises about playing Persona 5 Strikers, because, you know, I only just graduated from university last month, and I'm on the look for full-time jobs. And I know from full-time jobs that I've worked during summers before that my free time becomes very, very limited. And with much more limited time to do streaming and content creation, I don't really see 5 Strikers being super high on the priority list, honestly. So who knows? Maybe it'd happen, maybe it would never happen. Maybe I'm just done doing Persona 5 stuff. I'm done doing Persona 5 stuff for quite some time now, and I'll do Persona 3 Reload. I'll continue to keep on doing 3 Reload on and off as I have been for the next however long it takes me to beat it. In my on and off manner that I keep on doing it in. Like, I've been streaming that game pretty seldomly. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. I have a feeling this would go on the list of games that gave you migraines right next to Security Breach and Brilliant Diamond. Again, the main game actually had some pretty cool things going on, but this DLC is just like, you can feel that it was made just to make more money as a day one DLC to pump out there alongside the main game for those that want to shell out more money than they already have. Like, if this was like a free DLC later, or this was just included with the base game at launch, because this was available at launch, you could boot this up the day that this game came out and immediately play this DLC. If it was just included as a free thing, I wouldn't have all that much complaints. Even if it was a DLC that was released like months later, of like, hey, we developed this additional content, and sell it as DLC then I wouldn't be as mad, because I'd be like, oh, this was probably developed after the fact for actual additional content. But when something releases as a day one DLC, and they're also releasing things like weapon skins and other personas as day one DLC, as they like to do, that's like, Atlus, my god, your greed. It's certainly something, isn't it? But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Ban Tactica. Alright, good stream, good to know. Only get this game if it's under $25 and said sale has DLC included, which will never happen. I don't think the DLC is all that worth playing. Like, I'm just saying that I would be less mad at this DLC if it was included for free. I don't think that this DLC is a must-play by any means. I feel like I wouldn't be as mad at this as if it was free, because I'd be like, oh, it wasn't that good, but it was free, so like, or not free necessarily, but included in the main game. So like, meh, it doesn't matter all that much, who cares? But considering it's a paid DLC, it's like, yeah, that's not super worth it. So I'd say get the main game if it's on sale. Like, I saw it on sale for 40 bucks not all that long ago, as opposed to 80, so at half price. I'd say the main game is definitely worth it at half price. I'd say it's worth picking up. I don't see myself ever recommending this DLC unless the main game just becomes like your most favorite strategy game ever. You love the gameplay so much, or something like that. But yeah, you say that as if we wouldn't find out in the data mine that characters were already in the game's code like Supersonic was for Forces. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there are probably some games that do have the DLC done as the game launches and then just release it bit by bit later. That's the way that was for Fire Emblem Engage, as an example there. Like, but it was also a weird situation where they probably had to push back the release of that due to the release of 3 Hopes, and they didn't want to release 2 Fire Emblem games that close to each other. So Engage was probably done for a decent while before it came out, and they just started working on the DLC. And the DLC was probably already done, and they were releasing the DLC so fast, like a new wave every month, and I just could not keep up. It was coming out so fast, and it's like, yeah, there's situations like that where it's kind of weird, where they could have absolutely made it a day one DLC if they wanted to because it was done, and it's like, meh. Why don't you just sell the one finished product? Wouldn't that be nice? But what can be expected? Yeah, I do hope that you and everyone else here sleeps well. Have a good rest of your day / night. Appreciate that there, Delta thingy. And also, think about other recent games that I was playing. Here, let's close this. I'm not actually going to play any of it. I do want to get some sleep here soon. But one example of a game DLC that I actually really, really liked, and it sounds like a lot of the internet really likes. Let's see here. I'm still on the Repaint Your Heart thingamabob on Steam. A really good example of doing a DLC was Elden Ring, which has an update queued apparently. Here, update it. Like, this DLC came out over 2 years after the main game came out. Oh, it actually is a decent patch there. Like, this was something that really was developed after the fact, after the game itself was very successful. People really liked it, and they were like, all right, let's make more. And the DLC of this is so massive that's basically like a mini main game. There's a lot to explore and a lot of new bosses, lots of new weapon types. There's a lot with the DLC of this, and it's a really good DLC. Like, I was stressing out a little bit while playing it just because I was being stumped on some bosses, and I was like, man, I need to not be stumped here because I'm so behind on the game queue. And I did take a break from it saying, hey, I need to come back to this when I just have time to play it and enjoy it and not stress out about how behind I am on beating all the things that I want to beat on this channel and stuff like that. So maybe I'll play some of it at Frag. But I do acknowledge that it is a really good DLC with, like, a lot of meat to it. It's got a lot of really cool stuff going on where it's almost done being patched. I can boot it up briefly and just show the map as like a comparison, where it's like, this is how you do a DLC. It is so dang meaty, and it's just like the one DLC. It's not like it's filled with microtransactions in the shop here. Wait, what's the premium bundle? Oh, it's just like the digital art book and soundtrack, one of the developers that does that. But yeah, it's not like one of those kinds of situations. You want to see a really bad handle on DLC. Where's Tales of Arise? Tales of Arise. Look at the DLC page of that. This is a single-player game, by the way. And on this single-player game, look at all the cosmetic things. This is an actual, like, DLC epilogue thing. This was actually good. I enjoyed that. But most of these are just, like, outfits. Ignore how most of these are in my library. I bought the Ultimate Edition of the game to talk about on stream of, like, if it's worth it. It really wasn't. You can spend real-world money for in-game money in a single-player game. It is one of the most gross cases of monetization I've seen, and this was all just included in the Ultimate Edition thing, which is like the biggest waste of money ever. But yeah, you look at Elden Ring, and it's just like, yep, it's just this expansion like thingamabob that was released 2 years after the main game, a little bit over 2 years, I'm fairly certain. So they really went ham on developing this. It's not like, hey, let's just use the engine that we had before and slap something together. Well, of course they used the engine they had before, but what I'm trying to say is just take what we had before and just recycle it into this thing that we can pump out for a quick buck and make some more money on the side. Like, they went hard on developing new stuff here. I can put my Switch into sleep mode there. Is the case. I might have to briefly plug in my controller just because I don't know the keyboard controls. Because they were essentially developing like a small new full game here in the same engine as Elden Ring, as opposed to, oh, here's a little side mode, a little smidge of extra content just to make some more money on the side. Why is my controller just not working? Oh, maybe because I'm not clicked on the game. Here, I just want to show the map of this, just to talk about a DLC that's actually done really, really well. I don't think the DLC is perfect. I hate how it didn't really give me a warning that I entered the point of no return, and now, by doing that, there are quests that I can no longer go back and finish because I went past the point of no return where I can't do that. But even just looking at the map, like, there's quite a decent bit to explore here. I did a long session and covered this area here. I still have no idea how the heck to reach this. I might have to Google that at some point. And I haven't covered any of the crap that's over here or whatever's over in this area of the map. Like, there's a lot here and a lot of bosses to go around beating throughout this whole brand new land to explore that's like super vast, and it's so cool. Like, and you can't even see it. I thought it would show it with display capture. Gosh dang it, you just had to use your imagination there. Here, set to Elden Ring. Oh, and turn off display capture. Gosh dang it, you had to use your imagination there. The whole map here, this is what I was showing. I still don't know how to reach this. There's probably like a whole bunch of other bosses and stuff around here that I haven't beaten yet. I haven't been to anything over here. This looks like there would be some really crazy big bad over here. No idea what it is. And like this part of the map that I haven't explored yet at all. Yeah, there's probably like a decent part of map available over here. I may as well put a marker down. Like, it is basically like a whole nother miniature game in the game. This is how you do a DLC. This is a kick-ass DLC here. Remember the Sword and Shield base game added in a free slowpoke for you to capture, which you couldn't evolve until you got the DLC? What, you just couldn't evolve it until you got the DLC? Really? Like, I remembered the free slowpoke, but wow, that's pretty silly, isn't it? I'm gonna give one attempt at the final boss for fun. Spoilers. And then I'm gonna go to sleep. While I have this booted. Here. This is my roll button, right? Hold on. Oh, that's the delay. It's been a hot second since doing this, and now I don't remember how to do it anymore. And I just like... Like, this DLC is actually cool. Whoa, and I screwed up. There's a time that I was really good at these phase 1 patterns, but I'm still doing, like, next to no damage against him, so I would need to be stronger before I come here. And I acknowledge that, and, like, yeah, I'll just come back to playing this properly when I have some more time. I can just play this genuinely for fun and not because of an obligation to beat it. Besides, there's a lot more content here that I do want to do because it's a genuinely fun game here and genuinely meaningful amount of content added here instead of just like, hey, here's our game. Let's repurpose this in a slightly different way and pump it out for a quick buck in this other mode. As opposed to, hey, let's basically make like a mini another game onto our game like FromSoft did here. But yeah, imagine if someone came in to watch Tactica and saw you were moving around in Elden Ring. Yeah, I'm not sticking around here long. I just wanted to talk about that. I have almost 100 hours in Elden Ring now. Holy crap. Turn to desktop. I mean, on Steam it says I have 108.7 hours now, apparently. Which kind of doesn't surprise me, considering I 100%ed the main game. In terms of Steam achievements and defeating every boss that exists in the game. I'm surprised the DLC didn't add any new Steam achievements. It still says I have 100% on the thing. Interesting. But yeah, that there is a good DLC. But Persona 5 Tactica was just like, man, like, again, they tried to make it like the super emotional side story here. Like, it felt like so forced, is what it felt like. And it did not get me. Toshiro and Ares story in the main game, that got me. That got some time to be properly explored. That was good. But the DLC story with Guernica and Luca, I just didn't really care. Toshiro and Ares story, I genuinely cared about. Guernica and Luca's, I really did not. Was the case. But yeah, let's hear. Both lines require items locked in the Isle and Crown Tundra for Bro and King respectively. So that was that was one of the ways to try and sell more units of the DLC, huh? Of like, hey, you have this Slowpoke, but you can only evolve it now if you shell out. So like you get like a little free sample, the little miniature thing that you can never turn into the full thing until you wow. Anyway, I think that's basically all I wanted to say. That about wraps that up. That took me longer than expected. That took me longer than expected. I do not have the time to do Persona 3 Reload tonight. Next time I stream Persona, it'll be 3 Reload, and we'll see that through to the end here. Will be the case. So, yeah, appreciate everyone who tuned in tonight to this, yeah. So, I'm gonna head out of here for now and get some sleep and do some maintenance on my truck that has just stopped working completely because fuel isn't getting to the engine. I need to troubleshoot and figure that out tomorrow, hopefully. And then also go hascat picking with the kiddos, and that should be fun. And I'll get lots of delicious berries to munch here. So yeah, that should be fun there. So until next time when we're playing a better Persona game, take care and see ya. Goodbye.